This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good afternoon, I'm Ray Collins. Scott Dennis is off this week. Our top story, injured students and adults, power lost in nearby schools after a car hit a bus this morning in Sarasota County. It happened at the intersection of Proctor and Gant. The Florida Highway Patrol says a driver who was westbound on Proctor turned left in front of an eastbound bus. The students were heading to Oak Park School, which specializes in special needs students. Let's go live to the scene now, and our Jess Dowdrick. Jess, what's the latest out there?
Good afternoon, Ray. That's right. The school bus was holding special needs students from Oak Park School in the Sarasota County School District. They just towed that bus from the scene, but as you can see behind me, that traffic pole is still down. I'm told 11 people are in area hospitals after the accident, including 7 students from the bus, 2 adults from the bus. One was the driver and one was an aide, and 2 passengers of the car. One was the driver and one was the passenger. I'm told 1 student is a trauma patient and the other victims are not suffering any life-threatening injuries. State troopers say that the bus was traveling east on Proctor Road around 9:15 this morning. The red Infiniti was traveling westbound. Troopers say the bus had a green light when the car turned left in the path of the oncoming bus and the 2 collided. The bus then swerved off the road, knocking down a pole and some branches. That caused some power outages in the area, including at 2 nearby schools, Ashton Elementary and Sarasota Middle School. I'm told power has been restored to both of those schools at this hour. Troopers on the scene say they treated a total of 16 people. 11, again, were sent to the hospital. Some children who were not injured have been picked up by their parents. Others were transported to the school.
The bus did not catch on fire. However, the trauma that was caused to the front of the bus has caused a gas leak. So the fire department is being proactive. We're putting foam on it as well as getting all of that fuel off of the roadway, making sure that we do not have anything that could cause an ignition.
Traffic is still closed in this intersection. There is one westbound lane of Proctor Road open. Now, at this point in time, they're working to put up stop signs because there was a traffic signal that was knocked down. So when this intersection does reopen, it will be a 4-way stop. So drivers, be careful when you do come to this intersection. It will be something that you're not used to seeing. Again, a 4-way stop. But for now, the intersection does remain closed, and troopers are asking that you avoid the area. I will have another update again coming up in a half hour at 12:30 right here on ABC 7. For now, in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Jess. Talk to you soon again. 7 students and 4 adults taken to Sarasota Memorial. We continue our team coverage now live with Dwayne Linda, who is at the hospital. Dwayne?
Well, Ray, good afternoon. It's a tough day out here at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Press conference just ended a few minutes ago. Earlier this morning, we went to Oak Park School to take a visit. School just trying to get everything in order, faculty, staff, rounding up the students, getting everything in order, everyone shaken up just a little bit. The superintendent, Dr. Bowden, was here to speak, as well as the communications person for the district. Again, like we mentioned earlier, 12 kids on the bus, 2 adults on the bus as well. Also, 2 in the car that was in the accident as well. 7 children were taken to the hospital. Some of these children, about 5 or 6 of these children, are still being treated. Now, back to Oak Park. We went to Oak Park earlier this morning. We saw one of the kids with a bandage on his head. He was obviously a little hurt. His dad came to pick him up. He was waving to his assistant principal as he was leaving, which was great to see. But Edwina Oliver, who is the principal, she says she notified parents as soon as she heard of the accident. She also spoke with staff just to calm them down.
And upon that, I called 2 of my response team members from my school to come down with our school van to be with the kids and to keep the kids who were nonverbal to communicate with them so they would be relaxed and calm during the transition, because each of the students did have to be seen by the EMT at the scene.
The accident is still being investigated, and we'll have more for you later on in the newscast. Ray, back to you.
All right, Dwayne, we'll talk to you soon again. 7 students and 4 adults taken to the hospital after a car swerved in front of a school bus at Proctor and Gant. We'll have an update for you at 12:30 right here on ABC 7. On to other news now. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is trying to find the person who stabbed a man last night. It happened near the Oasis Apartments in Bradenton. That's near US 41 and 44th Avenue West. Deputies say a man was walking down 18th Street West when someone ran up and stabbed him in the stomach. The person then tried to rob the man, but the victim says he didn't have any valuables. It's believed the victim has non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect's described as a white male in his mid-20s, wearing plaid shorts and glasses. If you can help, call the Sheriff's Office at 747-3011. Also new at noon, a hit-and-run crash in Sarasota that left a pedestrian with serious injuries early this morning. It happened at 2 a.m. at the intersection of North Pineapple and 1st Street. Police say the victim was at that intersection when he was struck by a white Chevy Silverado. The car then sped from the scene, they say. The victim's in his late 20s and his condition is now listed as critical. Officers say the Silverado has possible left front damage. If you can help, call the police station at 364-7370. The search continues this noon for a pair of thieves who robbed a Longboat Key couple. Police say the men were posing as workers and distracted the victims to steal thousands of dollars of jewelry from the home in the Country Club Shores neighborhood. Now, in this scheme, one man knocks on the door and tells the homeowner he's there to do some survey work and he's required to check the backyard. Now, when the con man and the homeowner are in the backyard, that's when his partner in crime walks in the front door to rob the home. Police are warning residents not to be drawn from your house too easily.
If you have someone come to your door, you're not sure who they are, just don't answer the door and see what explanation they can give. Try to verify they are who they say they are. If you do go out, make sure you lock the door behind you.
One phony surveyor is described as a well-groomed Hispanic male, about 5'8", 170 pounds. He was driving a newer model maroon pickup truck. Happening today, the school board expected to make a decision on whether to keep the Manatee Charter School open for another year. The 700-student school is facing several academic and administrative issues, among them a chaotic learning environment, teachers not following lesson plans, and regular student misbehavior. A proposed resolution stands in between the charter school staying open for one more year or closing after this school year. If approved, the charter school will enter and follow a strict school improvement plan. A vote is expected shortly. Well, outside, the more dry and hot weather continues, John.
Yeah, it does. It's beautiful out there right now, though. Yeah. I love the low humidity air. It really feels good. But, boy, it heats up quickly.
It does.
That's the thing about dry air. You know, it cools down quickly, it heats up quickly. Yeah. So we're in for another warm afternoon. 87 degrees yesterday. We'll probably get pretty close to that again today. Taking a look at the Casey Key webcam put into motion since this morning. Just before dawn, watch the moon set. Isn't that pretty? And then, boom, sun rises, and it is a glorious start to the day with blue sky everywhere you look. Now, a little bit of an inversion has set up, and we do have the same situation as we had yesterday. A little fair weather clouds trying to move into the picture, but they're low-top clouds, really not supporting much in the way of rainfall. We have that same situation with an easterly wind drawing in moisture from the Atlantic and creating a few scattered showers, but I think maybe the high-pressure ridge is exerting a greater influence on it today than it did yesterday. And I think our rain chances are extremely minimal today. Maybe a little bit of light drizzle or patchy drizzle in locations, especially in the southern part of the viewing area, a little bit later on this afternoon. But we're not going to get much today, not going to get much at all. And daytime highs will again be warm, probably in the mid-80s to even some upper 80s around. But the dew points will be lovely in the 50s, and you can't beat that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what to expect this coming weekend, all coming up in just a second, Ray.
All right, thank you, John. New outrage and questions about the passenger forcibly removed from a United Airlines flight. The flight was oversold, and the airline couldn't find enough volunteers. And now what happened next has gone viral. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the story.
Most people have clicked on this now viral video, united in anger. Today, United Airlines under fire. This shocking scene recorded by passengers on a flight from Chicago to Louisville. A 69-year-old man dragged off the plane by security. United needed to bump passengers to make room for 4 crew members, but no volunteers, so the airline says it was forced to kick someone off based on an algorithm. United also says it offered $1,000 compensation, the maximum $1,350. CEO Oscar Muniz wrote to employees blaming the passenger. While I deeply regret this situation arose, I also emphatically stand behind all of you, and I want to commend you for continuing to go above and beyond to ensure we fly right.
I could not believe what I was seeing or hearing. I was in shock.
The backlash now impacting United overseas. International negative headlines. Passengers heard the man shouting that he's a doctor and being profiled because he's Chinese. The video has been seen more than 100 million times on one social media platform in China alone. The serious incident providing comic relief for others. The Twitter hashtag New United Airlines motto trending. Even ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live joining in.
If you resist, we'll beat you so badly you'll be using your own face as a flotation device.
United not laughing over this PR mess. Also, at least one of those airport security officers has been placed on leave. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
All right, let's switch gears now and have lunch. We've got Bob Overholster here from the Gold Rush Barbecue. And Bob, you got some Brunswick stew today, I understand.
That's right. We thought before it got too hot out there, we'd share a barbecue favorite, Brunswick stew. Packed with a lot of good pork and some good veggies, and I think we'll enjoy it.
All right, sounds great. We'll talk to you soon.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
So many times we underestimate the human spirit's drive to recover. We often see people surpass what any of us might have expected initially. The Rehabilitation Pavilion at Sarasota Memorial is the top of the line. It allows us to really bring the patient's recovery to the next level.
Don't miss Southwest Florida's largest barbecue and bluegrass event, Friday, April 14th and Saturday, April 15th, when the 8th annual Suncoast Barbecue and Bluegrass Bash returns to Venice. Bring the whole family and enjoy genuine competition barbecue and award-winning bluegrass entertainment. Please join us for a finger-licking and hot-picking good time, April 14th and 15th at the Suncoast Barbecue and Bluegrass Bash. Free admission, parking, entertainment, and family activities. Get all the details at suncoastbarbecuebash.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I like all the money I save with Ace Rewards.
And what's not to like? On any day, Byron can find instant savings throughout the store. Plus, exclusive deals and points that'll all add up.
Ace is the place that rewards you in a million ways. That's hyperbole, but still, it's a lot.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Don't miss these April Red Hot Buys. 6 convenient Sarasota locations and now open in Bradenton, Northport, and soon Osprey.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Very comfortable conditions outside right now. Again, dew points are still in the comfortable 50s. In fact, 53 degrees. It's actually come down a few degrees since this morning. And when dew points are in the 50s, I mean, it just feels great. Even if it's hot, it's, you know, what do they say? It's not the heat, it's the humidity. And so long as the dew point's in the 50s, the humidity is low enough that it feels comfortable, even when you're in the mid 80s. It won't be long before our dew points are in the 70s, which feels, you know, like you're in the middle of Manila. But as far as the 50s go, I'll take them. East wind coming in at about 7 will continue on throughout the day today. That'll bring in those few clouds from time to time from the other coast, and it'll also bring in maybe an isolated patch of drizzle or light rainfall in some locations, mostly out in Gulf waters if it occurs, I think. A lot of sunshine out there currently, and as far as the winds go, they're all out of the east, inland and near the coast. And that's going to kind of keep our sea breeze very close to the coastline. And where that easterly wind flow coming at us from across land meets with our sea breeze trying to form and push inland, will be a most likely location for a little bit more rain falling from some of these clouds. Even if we do get any, we're talking about very, very little amounts, more like a drizzle or a sprinkle than any kind of appreciable rain. So it's not going to add much to the rainfall totals. And as I mentioned, because those winds are blowing out of the east fairly significantly, it'll be pretty close to the coast, if not out in coastal waters. So that's unfortunate because we do need the rainfall around here. And if you take a look at the fire danger index, we now have Manatee County in the very high range. That's not as bad as it was yesterday when it was in the extreme range. I think we've got a little bit more moisture around that's helping, but still, the winds have subsided just a little bit. That also helps, and the current forecasts are taken into account when they make up these indexes. But still, a very good indication that a lot of the counties, and especially the southern tip of the state of Florida, are in a place where if a fire starts, it would require professional suppression to get rid of it. A little bit of cloud cover. You can see that kind of moving in from the other coastline. Again, this is very thin cloud, very thin layered cloud. It doesn't have a lot of loft. It's not going to produce a lot of rainfall. You can see the scattered showers trying to make it across, and then they just kind of fizzle out. And the reason is the atmosphere aloft is not allowing these showers to sustain themselves once they are removed from that Atlantic moisture supply. Now, if you want rainfall, you got to go back to the west. There are big storms brewing in parts of Texas, and in fact, that line of storms takes it all the way up into down east Maine, where there could be some stronger storms brewing a little bit later today. If you're traveling to the Dallas, Fort Worth, or Houston airports, could be some airport delays because of weather. But our airport hubs of Atlanta and the Carolinas look fine. No issues there. So a day that's really going to be a lot like it was yesterday. A lot of sunshine, some fair weather clouds, maybe a sprinkle in some locations. Tomorrow, slightly better chance of rain. I think the high pressure ridge that's bringing us this fair weather may not be quite as strong. So we'll add a little bit of a better rain chance. And then again on Saturday. But otherwise, warm temperatures right straight through the period, above average, in fact. And lots of sunshine out there, Ray.
Thank you, John. Now, disturbing news here. Another animal is found in a bag of salad, this time a live scorpion. It was found inside a bag of spinach from a giant grocery store in Maryland. The man who bought the bag says he reached out to the store owner and asked if they could stop selling the spinach, and he says the store refused. You might recall last week a dead bat was found in an organic salad bag in a Walmart. That salad brand has since been recalled. Well, it's some news you might not be itching to hear. New findings suggest that bed bugs may be getting harder to kill. Dr. Timothy Johnson explains.
Bed bugs, a nighttime blight for so many. And while getting rid of them used to be as simple as calling your exterminator, that may not be the case forever. In a new study, Purdue University researchers tested 2 commonly used pesticides on populations of bed bugs gathered from different parts of the country to see how effectively these chemicals kill these pests. What they found is that some of the bed bugs tested were resistant to one or even both pesticides, finding that higher levels were needed to defeat some of these insects, a sign that pesticides alone soon may not solve our bed bug problem. So for now, experts suggest a multi-legged approach, one that uses pesticide but also incorporates other methods like traps, steam, and even physical removal. All of this means a call for more research into new ways to prevent and destroy these bugs. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.
New information is out from men about the importance of prostate testing. According to government researchers, conversations with doctors should begin about the age of 55. The latest recommendation is based on new evidence indicating that routine blood tests can slightly reduce some men's chances of dying from prostate cancer. The group also notes that drastic treatment can be avoided with close monitoring when cancer is detected. The new draft guidelines replaced the panel's 2012 guidance, which said the test did more harm than good. When we come back to the kitchen with our chef, plus a live update on the school bus accident with injuries in Sarasota County. And later, why the death of a Navy SEAL is prompting his family to file a lawsuit. Those stories and much more after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Straight from the kitchen of the Gold Rush Cafe. Good to have you here, Bob. Always a pleasure to have you in the kitchen,
Nice
sir.
to be back.
And you always make up such tasty, wonderful barbecue.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you can smell your kitchen from up here. It smells so good. I tell you, it's
Thank
lovely.
you.
Down in Venice, one of the great places to eat. So you got
Appreciate
two cast iron
Yeah,
kettles
we have
here. What you
one we're
cooking
going to
up?
be cooking in, and one that's we're going to show off a little bit. But we're doing
Okay.
a Brunswick stew today,
Which is
You know, it's a
traditionally cooked in
classic-
one of these pots.
That's right, and it's really a barbecue favorite. Everybody loves a good barbecue Brunswick stew, and it's funny because you know the Brunswick stew, where it came from, there's a little argument there. You know, obviously there's Brunswick, Georgia,
right?
But then there's also Brunswick County in Virginia, and both play claim on that. you know. But
I smell
really,
rivalry.
The hunters are the ones that came up with this stew, and you'll see with the variety of meats that are going to go in it. But first, we're going to start off with just a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
You know, it's always a good way to sweat the onions and celery, which we're going to start with about 2 cups. So we'll get that going, and you know, it's really important. You hear a lot of people talk about sweating the onions and sweating the carrots and whatever vegetables you're putting in there, because it gives them a little more flavor and makes them a little more on the tender side before we even start the process of the soup. And of course, we're going to rush it up a little bit today. We're going to flavor the Brunswick stew with about a half a cup of ketchup. Have some fun squirting that in there with these new bottles. And then, of course, my favorite ingredient, the Gold Rush barbecue sauce.
Some good stuff.
Or you can use your favorite barbecue sauce. I recommend one that's not too sweet. That's the only thing, because we have the ketchup going in there. So you want to stir that up and get the vegetables going a bit. You can see we settled it down some. And then we're going to add the meat. Now, Brunswick stew has had everything in it from rabbit to squirrel to beef, beef, pork, or chicken. And we're going to do a combination of smoked pork. This is a pound that we're putting in there.
That sounds
Now, if you want to make this at home, the idea is think ahead, and if you have some leftover pork, leftover beef, leftover chicken, save it up each time, and then make a nice Brunswick stew. Or you can go to really any barbecue restaurant and get these meats. And of course, I'd hope you come to Gold Rush. That'd be my choice.
That'd be my choice too.
And then we're going to add a little salt and pepper. I always like to use fresh pepper. Definitely gives you the most flavor. And then we start with the vegetables. We're gonna do some lima beans.
Okay.
That's the one real consistent vegetable in Brunswick stew is lima beans. And of course some carrots, about 10 ounces of each, and these can be fresh or frozen. And then of course some corn. Okay, get that going. Now sometimes people put potatoes in there. Today we're not gonna do that today. And then tomato. I like to use the whole canned tomato. I think they're a nice way to go and gives you some big chunks in there, and you can always just, break that up a little bit when you're going. Now this stew is all going to, start to simmer a little bit, and so we're going to want to add some more liquid to it. We at Gold Rush, of course, have the luxury of overnight pork drippings. They're in the smoke room. We come in the morning.
Hot dog,
and if anybody wants to try this and pick up some, call ahead. I'll be happy to get you some. Or you can use liquid smoke, but we're going to use the Gold Rush pork drippings. That gives the stew that little bit of extra smoky flavor.
Oh, that's gonna be tasty.
And then the chicken broth. I like to use the low sodium because you've got a lot of salt and other items going in there. And again, this is just simply something that's fun. You can, make in-house or at home on the grill or out camping in a big pot like this. This cast iron pot is a Dutch oven, and it was actually invented by Paul Revere.
Oh, no
he was
kidding.
a blacksmith.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. And so this is going to simmer for about an hour. Okay.
And then, I got to look at the
one final ingredient, a stick of butter.
A whole stick.
That's the big
That's
surprise.
what I'm talking about.
And then here we are, ready to go.
Oh,
this is simmered for about an hour, and you can see it's a nice, hearty, meaty, vegetable-based stew.
That looks delicious. And the recipe for it is on our website, mysuncoast.com. But I'm betting it's also on the menu down at Gold Rush, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's not on the menu, actually.
Oh,
but
really?
I wanted to share this good recipe with everyone that I've always made. And, of course, you want to have some good cornbread with it. And I know that's one of your favorites at Gold Rush.
Oh, that's so good.
What do you think? And if you like it a little spicy, you can add a little hot sauce on top.
That's great. We'll be right back while I eat. This is so good.
I seems like it. Thank you.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
We want to update you now on this morning's breaking news, a crash with injuries involving a Sarasota County school bus. Our live team coverage begins with Jess Dowdrick, who's live at Procter & Grant with the latest. Jess?
Good afternoon, Ray. The cleanup continues here on the scene. You can see behind me the school bus and the car have both been towed from the scene. Right now, crews are working to get that traffic signal out of the intersection so that they can reopen the roadway. The school bus was carrying special needs students from Oak Park School in the Sarasota County School District. I'm told 11 people are in area hospitals after the accident, including 7 students from the bus, 2 adults from the bus, and 2 adults from the car. One student is a trauma patient, according to troopers. The other victims are not suffering any life-threatening injuries, I'm told. State troopers say that the bus was traveling east on Proctor Road around 9:15 this morning. The red Infiniti was traveling westbound. Troopers say the bus had the green light when the car turned left into the path of the oncoming bus, and the two collided. The bus then swerved off the road, knocking down the traffic pole and some branches. That caused some power outages in the area, including at some nearby schools, including Ashton Elementary and Sarasota Middle Schools. I'm told power has been restored to both of those schools. Troopers on scene say they treated a total of 16 people. Again, 11 of them were sent to the hospital for further treatment. Some children who were not injured have been picked up by their parents. Others were transported to the school.
This intersection is really bad. The red light gets run a lot during the day. It's situated kind of weird where the turn lane is a left turn lane and a straight lane at the same time. So, you know, people don't pay attention, and it has gotten really dangerous over the last few years.
Most lanes of traffic here are still closed. There is one westbound lane of Proctor that is now open. They are still working on the intersection again, trying to take that traffic signal off of the roadway. But for now, while they do work to restore those traffic lights, they have put stop signs in. So when this intersection reopens, it will be a 4-way stop. So drivers, beware. This isn't something that you're typically used to. Again, a 4-way stop until the traffic signals are restored. We'll continue to bring you updates as soon as we have them on mysuncoast.com and on our Facebook page, again on ABC 7 at 5. For now in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Jess. She's live at Procter & Gant. Again, the injured involved 7 students and 4 adults. They were taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Let's go live now to the hospital as we continue our team coverage. And Dwayne Lindo who has details of those injured. Dwayne?
Well, Ray, the press conference ended about a half hour ago. Officials say the 12 kids and 2 adults on the bus were shaken up a bit. But Principal Edwina Oliver not only went to the scene of the accident to lead her students and her faculty, but she went to Oak Park and spoke with staff there as well to assure them that everything would be okay. Now, the medical director here at Sarasota Memorial, Dr. Ruben Holland, says many of the children that were injured on the bus are still being treated.
We accepted the 9 patients. One was required transport to All Children's Hospital. He was in stable condition. None of them had any surgical injuries that we could determine at this time. One has been discharged, and the remainder are being treated at this time.
Now we'll have more on this story as the day goes along. Ray, back to you.
All right, Dwayne, talk to you soon. Thank you. You can stay on top of the story as well on our website at mysuncoast.com or at our ABC7 Facebook page. On to other news now. The family of a Navy SEAL trainee who died during a pool exercise is taking on the Navy's decision not to file charges against an instructor involved in the death. The latest from ABC's Amy Robach.
It just makes us sick to our stomach.
Navy SEAL trainee James Derek Lovelace was in his first week of Elite SEAL training last May when he drowned during combat swimmer orientation, an exercise requiring trainees to tread water in full fatigues and boots while wearing a mask filled with water, similar to the drills seen in this video.
The Navy SEAL training is among the most dangerous and the most difficult of all of the services. The washout rate is around 80%.
At the time of Lovelace's death, the medical examiner ruled it a homicide by drowning, saying while some could consider his death an accident, the actions and inactions of the instructors and other individuals involved were excessive and directly contributed to the death.
Derek's fellow shipmates, a lot of them reached out. This certain instructor bullied Derek that day and took it too far. A lot of dunking. Just seemed like everything was focused on Derek in the pool that day.
Now, new documents obtained exclusively by ABC News detail the Navy's year-long investigation, providing eyewitness accounts from the day of Lovelace's death. Fellow trainees reporting the victim's face turned purple as he attempted to stay afloat while an instructor dunked him and put a lot of pressure on him, both verbal and physical. According to training regulations, dunking and holding a student underwater is strictly forbidden, but adverse conditions like yelling and splashing are permitted to create stress and high intensity.
The only way we can really figure out what went on is to file a lawsuit against the government and the instructor and take depositions and see what actually happened.
Overnight, the Navy telling ABC News it's determined Lovelace's death was not the result of a crime, but adding no loss of life in training is an acceptable loss. Words of little solace for Lovelace's family.
Derek deserved more than this. Derek deserved honor. All I want is this man behind bars. That's all I want.
An autopsy also revealed that Lovelace had an enlarged heart that contributed to his death. Overseas, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is preparing to meet with high-level Russian officials. The visit comes just days after the U.S. launched 59 missiles in Syria. It's a nation Russia has rushed to defend. Lawmakers in Washington are accusing Russia of knowingly standing by while the Syrian president used chemical weapons to attack his own people.
I believe that Russia knew about the chemical weapons because they were operating from exactly the same base.
The answer is that if you gas a baby, if you put a barrel bomb in to innocent people, I think you will see a response from this president. That is unacceptable.
According to human rights groups, the Assad regime used nearly 13,000 barrel bombs against its own people last year alone. A fireball shot across the skies over parts of the Southwest last night. One woman in San Diego was live streaming video when it happened. Let's take a look.
Went from... Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that?
Well, the American Meteor Society says it received at least 260 reports of the fireball event. It was described as green and very bright. Most reports of it were from San Diego. Most people from Southern California, Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico also said they did indeed see something in the sky. Look at this. It's a pool that makes you feel like you're walking on air. Take a look at this video of a swimmer stepping over the edge of a building, all the while remaining inside the pool. The pool is at a high-rise in a luxury apartment in Houston. It's 40 stories above the ground, and that glass part juts out about 10 feet. John Scalzi, would you like to take a walk in that pool?
That would scare the living daylights out of me.
Yeah, who's to say it couldn't collapse?
Well, hopefully the engineers say that, but I tell you what, that is just frightening.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I guess they do that. They have that in the Grand Canyon. They have an observation deck kind of like
right.
that.
Yeah.
Glass observation deck. I don't know if I could do that, though.
Nice day for a swim.
Beautiful day for a swim. Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous out there. Low relative humidity, plenty of sunshine. It's lovely. Van Wezel webcam put into motion showed the setting sun and the setting moon and the rising sun and a beautiful blue sky. Yeah, we got a few fair weather clouds that are building now across the region, mostly in inland areas where showers kind of coming in from the other coast, riding on a general easterly wind flow, are tending to die out under the influence of this big ridge of high pressure, this sinking dome of air that brought us those blue skies when dawn broke. Now those clouds are gradually drifting across the peninsula, and like yesterday, I think they'll be popping into the picture as we head into the later afternoon. We'll put in about a 10% chance of maybe a stray sprinkle late in the day. Otherwise, another warm one. Daytime highs in the mid-80s. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a minute, Ray.
All right, thank you, John. Alabama has a new governor, the state's foreign Kay Ivey. She takes over after the resignation of Governor Robert Bentley. He's accused of using state law enforcement to intimidate staffers and suppress news of an affair with a former political advisor. The incoming governor says the key aspects of her administration will be transparency and honesty.
We're going to give Governor Kay Ivey every benefit of every doubt. We're going to hope that she just cuts loose with abandon and she cleans house. She keeps those that she feels can do the best job, and if there's some that have been around Governor Bentley that she feels that she could replace them with somebody better, then that's her job to do it.
Ivey is Alabama's second female governor. The first was Lulene Wallace, wife of former Governor George Wallace. Bill Cosby has a series of his children's books under fire now by a library group. The American Library Association is adding the Little Bill Children's Book Series to its list of books it targets to remove from school libraries. This is the first time an author has been the focus of a list, not the contents of the book. The ALA wants the books removed because of sexual assault allegations against Cosby. They focus on the adventures of Bill Jr., a 5-year-old in Philadelphia, which became an award-winning cartoon series on Saturday morning years ago. Here at home, a reminder for those who plan to vote by submitting their ballots by mail in Sarasota County. The elections supervisor says those ballots need to be completed and returned by election night on May 9th. Next month's elections include the City of Northport's special election and Sarasota's second election. Ballots must be returned by 7 p.m. on May the 9th. New bus routes for SCAT. After 2 years, Sarasota County is adding a new bus route in Englewood. The new Route 26 includes stops at the beach, the hospital, the YMCA, also the Chamber of Commerce and the West Dearborn Street Historic Business District. This new route will start Saturday and run hourly. If you have a favorite park here in Sarasota County, here's a chance to make it even nicer. The county is taking part in a nationwide contest called Meet Me at the Park. People can nominate a park, and the one with the most votes will win $20,000. And that grant can be used for renovations. The contest is sponsored by the nonprofit group called National Recreation and Park Association. For information on how to vote or nominate, go to our website, mysuncoast.com, and click on links we mentioned. When we come back, John has one more check of that hot and dry forecast and a special anniversary for one local circus, the latest show under Sarasota's Big Top, next.
My Hometown Fest is coming to Nathan Venderson Park Saturday, April 15th. Join us for culinary favorites from across the U.S. paired with your favorite craft beers. There's also great live music and activities for adults and kids. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, We provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
A unique celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota. La Musica, the annual International Festival of Chamber Music, with renowned musicians from 4 continents. April 3rd through April 12th at the Sarasota Opera House and at Sainer Pavilion. Buy your tickets now.
Tickets are going fast for My Hometown Fest, being held from noon till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 15th at Nathan Penderson Park. Enjoy foods from 40 area restaurants, 60-plus craft beers, live music, and lots of fun. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
Current air temperature coming in at already 79 degrees, about where we were yesterday. We are on track for another very warm afternoon with temperatures in the mid-80s. Dew points, though, still pretty low, coming in at 53. That's comfortable, and plenty of sunshine around. The atmosphere has kind of a lid on it right now, so that anything trying to bubble up gets caught by that lid. So consequently, we're not getting big, strong updrafts. We don't have a plentiful amount of moisture, obviously, at the surface. And so clouds that build are going to be very shallow, thin clouds, kind of stuck at the bottom of the pot there. And as far as any kind of rainfall goes, not much more than a sprinkle possible today. Winds still continually coming out of the east at about 7. Temperatures 81 degrees in Arcadia, 79 in Wauchula, 80 Mayaca, as well as in Northport, 81 in Punta Gorda, closer to the coast, just a tad cooler, with 75 degrees in Longboat Key, 79 Sarasota, 78 in Venice, and 76 in Inglewood. Bradenton comes in at 79 degrees as well. So here's the good news. Easterly wind flow, Mote Marine spotters out at the beaches, sampling the air quality, seeing how much irritant there is in the air from red tide issues. And all of the beaches are reporting this morning as green, as none being observed at those beaches. So that's really good news. I think that general easterly wind flow is helping push those toxins back out to the open waters. Plus, there's not a lot of high concentrations in the waters currently. So we're looking at a few fair weather clouds trying to make their way across. You can see this general easterly wind kind of lining up the clouds along I guess you could call it a east coast sea breeze front, though really it's just the general winds across the Atlantic waters, picking up that moisture and bringing it this way. We've got a few scattered areas of sprinkles. We had some yesterday, and they kind of dissipated with a little bit of residual cloud cover out in the Gulf this morning. And now we'll probably see the same sort of thing happen again today, I suspect. Showers and thunderstorms back to the west in a line that extends all the way up into the northeast. Most of the country enjoying quiet weather. This is a frontal boundary that really isn't going to impact us at all. It's basically going to stay where it is, stick to the north of us, and eventually just wash out. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us, with the flow around that high, bringing us that easterly wind and bringing that long fetch of Atlantic moisture closer and closer to us. Now, I think as we head to the end of the week, we'll see the moisture start to increase. Those dew point numbers that I love so much in the 50s, probably going to get closer to the low 60s. But still, that high pressure ridge, which suppresses shower activity, will hold firm right into the weekend. And I really don't see much of a chance of any kind of significant rainfall. So mostly sunny today, warm, late afternoon clouds, a little bit breezy, and then we'll watch for an isolated shower or two maybe developing. The severe weather located across the country will be in that strip associated with that cold front that's located back to our west. Don't have anything over the state of Florida, really. Daytime high today tops out warm in the mid-80s. Tomorrow, maybe a slightly better chance of showers, and then again on Saturday. But all in all, this week is a dry week, and daytime highs will be above average. Right?
Very nice. Thank you, John. More dormitories for Ringling College of Art and Design. They keep on growing there. This new plan calls for a new 50-room dorm that will house up to 185 students. The 3-story structure will be nestled between Whitaker Bayou and some trees at the east end of the property, with a pedestrian bridge over the bayou to connect the rooms to campus. The project should cost about $25 million and be finished in about a year and a half. More fun under the big top. The Pal Sailor Circus is celebrating its 68th anniversary. More than 100 Circus Kid artists will be performing with music from some animated classics. It starts today and runs through the 15th at the Sailor Circus Arena. Next, Marvel returns with another superhero action flick. And it's your chance to become part of Star Wars history and give back at the same time. Details coming up in entertainment news.
Our community has its struggles. The fact is, people have less than they did just a few years ago, and sadly, the need becomes more profound every day. Season of Sharing provides funds to help individuals and families in need, ensuring they will not end up homeless and without a roof over their heads. Together, providing a helping hand and making a difference. Season of Sharing. Give today at cfsarasota.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
The author behind the best-selling book Hidden Figures has a new project in the works. Margot Lee Shetterly's latest is set around 2 prominent African-American households in the mid-20th century Baltimore. Hidden Figures was about black women mathematicians who helped win the space race. And like the NASA historical drama, it'll once again tell a story of an African-American who says she has been overlooked by historians. The book does not have a title or a release date quite yet. Chris Hemsworth is back as Thor in the 3rd installment of the Marvel superhero series. The explosive new trailer finds the hammer-wielding god without his weapon and imprisoned on a hostile planet. There's also a new foe played by Cate Blanchett. Thor even finds himself up against an old ally, the Incredible Hulk. It hits the theaters in November. Star Wars is looking for a new force for change. The United Nations Children's Fund and Starlight Children's Foundation are coming together for a fundraising initiative to raise money for various causes. Over the next 4 weeks, fans will be able to enter to win one of 3 experiences. They include a trip to Skywalker Ranch, a visit to the set of the young Han Solo movie, and an opportunity to meet the cast of the upcoming movie Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Force for Change has raised $13 million in the past 3 years. The contest also celebrates the 40th anniversary of the original George Lucas film.
Call sporadic, yeah, I'm always on my toes. When there's a fire, you know I'm always on that hose.
And finally, it's a fire station with hoses and different area codes. Firefighters at the New Gloucester Fire and Rescue in Maine put their own spin on a popular rap song for their latest recruitment video. It goes through the firefighters' daily workday and features them rapping and unfolding fire hoses, of course. The parody is based off the song Area Codes by rappers Ludacris and Nate Dogg. The video was posted on their website and so far has 5,000 shares already. Good way to get the word out about what they do.
Yeah, it's a pretty good idea, actually. Pretty good marketing.
Yeah,
whoever came up with that. It took a lot of work, too, obviously.
Certainly did.
To get it all together and get it going.
Well, of course, we're following some breaking news. If I could just add this real quickly, John, that we've got earlier today, a bus was hit by a car at Proctor and Gant. 7 students and 4 adults were taken to Sarasota Memorial. We'll have team coverage at 5 o'clock this evening about their conditions and more on the accident itself. And that'll be right here on ABC7, also on our Facebook page, ABC7, and also the mysuncoast.com. So more hot and dry weather continues.
Absolutely, yeah. It looks like it's going to probably be in the mid-80s again today, about 7 degrees above average. So another warm one. Stay cool. Not much in the way of rainfall today. Maybe tomorrow, a splash or 2 of showers, but that's about it.
Quiet week for you.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy your afternoon. Stay cool. We'll see you on Good Morning Suncoast. Haley's here at 5 o'clock.